Hello, friends. Handshake. Welcome back to the channel. Sparkles. In today's video, we will explore some interesting United States Lincoln 1-cent coins, 1968D, 1975, 1989, 1994D, and 2001 United States. All of these coins feature the iconic Abraham Lincoln design, which has been an important part of U.S. coin history since 1909. On these coins, you'll see powerful inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty" on the front, and on the reverse side, "United States of America, e pluribus unum," and 1 cent, representing the core values of the United States. In this video, we'll discuss the history, design details, mint marks, composition, mintage, and collector value of all these coins in detail. We'll also look at which coins are common, and which ones might be rare or more valuable. So make sure to watch the video till the end. And if you're interested in coin collecting, this video is going to be very informative for you. Fire. The United States 1-cent coin Lincoln penny, 1968. D is an important and widely collected coin in American numismatic history. This coin was minted in 1968 at the Denver Mint, which is indicated by the small D mint mark found below the date on the obverse side. The 1968 D penny belongs to the long-running Lincoln cent series that began in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1968, this design had already become one of the most recognizable coin designs in the world, symbolizing both American heritage and everyday commerce. Millions of these coins were produced for circulation, making them common in general use. But they still hold value and interest among collectors, especially in higher grades or with unique minting errors. On the obverse front of the 1968 D Lincoln cent, you will find the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln is shown facing right, and this was the first time a real historical figure appeared on a regular U.S. circulating coin. Above his head appears the national motto, "In God We Trust," which reflects the country's historical emphasis on faith and unity. To the left of Lincoln's portrait is the word "Liberty," representing the core American value of freedom, while the date 1968 is inscribed on the right side along with the small D mint mark, indicating its production at the Denver Mint. The overall design is simple yet powerful, combining symbolism with a clean artistic style that has endured for decades. The reverse back of the coin features the classic wheat-free design introduced in 1959, known as the Lincoln Memorial Reverse. It was designed by Frank Gasparo and shows the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., a tribute to the same president depicted on the obverse. Interestingly, if you look closely, you can see a tiny representation of Lincoln's statue inside the memorial, making this one of the few coins in the world to depict the same person on both sides. The inscriptions on the reverse include "United States of America" along the top, "E pluribus unum," a Latin phrase meaning "out of many one," just above the memorial, and 1 cent boldly displayed at the bottom, indicating the coin's denomination. This reverse design remained in use until 2008, making it one of the longest-running designs in U.S. coinage history. In terms of composition, the 1968 D Lincoln penny is made primarily of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a rich reddish-brown color when new. The coin has a weight of 3.11 grams and a diameter of 19 millimeters, which are standard specifications for pennies of that era. Over time, many of these coins have toned to brown or dark brown due to oxidation, and collectors often classify them into 3 color categories: red RD, red-brown RB, and brown BN. Coins that retain their original red luster are generally more valuable. The edge of the coin is plain, without any reading, which is typical for U.S. cents. The mintage of the 1968 D penny was very high, with over 2.8 billion coins produced, reflecting the heavy demand for small change during that period in U.S. economic activity. Because of this large mintage, most 1968 D pennies are not rare in circulated condition and are usually worth only a few cents above face value. However, coins in uncirculated mint state condition, especially those graded MS-65 or higher, can carry a premium among collectors. Additionally, certain error coins, such as double-die varieties, off-center strikes, or coins with unusual coloring, can be significantly more valuable depending on their rarity and condition. From a historical perspective, the 1968 D penny represents a time of social and political change in the United States, including the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War era. Despite these challenges, the continued production of Lincoln cents symbolized stability and continuity in everyday American life. Collectors today often include the 1968 D penny and complete Lincoln Memorial cent sets, appreciating it not only for its design, but also for its connection to a transformative period in American history. In conclusion, the 1968 D Lincoln 1-cent coin may appear ordinary at first glance, but it carries deep historical, artistic, and cultural significance. Its classic design, high mintage, and enduring symbolism make it a staple in coin collections around the world. Whether found in pocket change or preserved in mint condition, this coin remains a meaningful piece of U.S. numismatic heritage, representing the values of liberty, unity, and trust that continue to define the nation. The United States 1-cent coin Lincoln penny. 1975 is a classic example of American coinage that reflects both historical continuity and everyday economic life in the United States. This coin is part of the famous Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. By 1975, the Lincoln penny had already become one of the most recognizable and widely circulated coins in the world. The inscriptions found on the coin, "In God We Trust, Liberty," "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent, represent the core values, national identity, and unity of the United States. The 1975 penny was minted primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint with a D mint mark, and both versions are commonly found in circulation as well as in coin collections. On the obverse front of the 1975 Lincoln penny, the dominant feature is the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1909, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," which serves as the official national motto of the United States and reflects the country's historical emphasis on faith. To the left of Lincoln's profile appears the word liberty, symbolizing the foundational American principle of freedom and democracy. On the right side of the coin, the date 1975 is clearly struck, and if the coin was produced at the Denver Mint, a small D mint mark appears just below the date. Coins minted in Philadelphia do not carry a mint mark, which helps collectors distinguish between different mint varieties. The reverse back of the 1975 penny features the well-known Lincoln Memorial design, created by Frank Gasparo and first introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design showcases a Lincoln Memorial building located in Washington, D.C., a powerful symbol of honor and remembrance for the 16th President of the United States. One fascinating detail of this design is that a tiny figure of Lincoln seated inside the memorial can be seen with magnification, making this coin unique in depicting the same individual on both sides. The inscriptions on the reverse include United States of America along the top rim, the Latin motto E Pluribus Unum positioned above the memorial, meaning out of many one, and the denomination 1 cent displayed prominently at the bottom. This reverse design remained in use for nearly 5 decades until it was replaced in 2009. In terms of composition, the 1975 Lincoln penny is made from traditional bronze alloy consisting of 95% copper and 5% zinc, giving it a rich, warm copper color. The coin has a weight of approximately 3.11 grams and a diameter of 19 millimeters, which were standard specifications for pennies prior to the composition change in 1982. The edge of the coin is plain, smooth, without any ridges. Over time, the surface color of these coins can vary significantly depending on their exposure to air and handling. Collectors typically classify them into 3 categories based on color: red RD, for coins with original mint luster; red-brown RB, for partially toned coins; and brown BN, for fully toned coins. Red examples, especially in high grades, are the most desirable and valuable. The mintage of the 1975 penny was extremely large, reflecting the high demand for small denomination coins during that period. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 5.4 billion coins, while the Denver Mint struck more than 4 billion coins, making the 1975 penny one of the most common dates in the Lincoln Memorial series. Due to this high mintage, most circulated examples have very little value beyond their face value. However, coins in uncirculated condition mint state, particularly those graded MS-65 or higher, can carry a premium among collectors. Additionally, certain error coins, such as off-center strikes, double-die varieties, clip planchets, or coins with die cracks, may be worth significantly more depending on their rarity and visual appeal. From a historical perspective, the 1975 Lincoln penny represents the United States during a time of economic challenges and social change. The mid-1970s were marked by inflation, energy crises, and shifts in global politics. Yet the continued production of the Lincoln cent symbolized stability in everyday commerce. Coins like the 1975 penny were used by millions of Americans daily, making them an integral part of daily life. Today, they serve as small but meaningful artifacts that connect collectors and historians to that specific era in U.S. history. In conclusion, the 1975 United States 1-cent Lincoln penny is a significant piece of American numismatic heritage. While it is common and often overlooked due to its abundance, it carries deep historical, cultural, and symbolic value. Its classic design, featuring Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial, along with inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "E Pluribus Unum," reflects the enduring principles of the United States. Whether found in circulation or preserved in collection, the 1975 penny remains an important representation of American history and a timeless symbol of unity, liberty, and national identity. The United States 1-cent coin Lincoln penny, 1989, is a widely circulated yet historically meaningful coin that forms part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln. By 1989, this coin had already been in use for 80 years, making it one of the most enduring designs in global coinage. The penny represents not only everyday commerce in the United States, but also the nation's identity and values through its inscriptions: "In God We Trust," "Liberty," "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and "1 cent." These phrases reflect faith, freedom, unity, and national pride. The 1989 penny was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, and the Denver Mint with a D mint mark, and both types are commonly found in circulation and collections worldwide. On the obverse front of the 1989 Lincoln penny, the central design is the right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by Victor David Brenner. This portrait was groundbreaking when first introduced because it marked the first time a real historical figure appeared on a circulating U.S. coin. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," the official motto of the United States, symbolizing the country's long-standing connection to faith and moral values. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word "liberty," representing one of the core principles upon which the nation was founded. On the right side appears the date 1989, and in the case of coins struck at the Denver Mint, a small D mint mark is positioned just below the date. The obverse design remains clean, simple, and iconic, continuing a tradition that has lasted for generations. The reverse back of the 1989 penny features the classic Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this reverse depicts the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a monument dedicated to honoring the legacy of the 16th President of the United States. One fascinating detail is that a tiny image of Lincoln seated inside the memorial can be seen with magnification, making this coin unique in that it portrays the same person on both sides. The inscriptions include "United States of America" along the upper edge, the Latin motto "E Pluribus Unum" above the memorial, meaning "out of many one," and the denomination 1 cent prominently displayed at the bottom. This design remained in use until 2008, becoming one of the longest-running reverse designs in U.S. coin history. In terms of composition, the 1989 Lincoln penny is made of 97.5% zinc with thin copper plating of 2.5%, a composition that was introduced in 1982 to reduce production costs due to rising copper prices. The coin has a weight of approximately 2.5 grams and a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, which are standard for modern U.S. cents. The edge is plain, without ridges. Although the coin appears copper in color, its zinc core can sometimes be exposed if the plating becomes damaged or corroded, leading to bubbling or peeling, an issue occasionally seen in older circulated coins. This composition change marks an important transition in the history of U.S. coinage, reflecting economic considerations in mint production. The mintage of the 1989 penny was extremely high, as billions of coins were produced to meet the needs of everyday transactions. The Philadelphia Mint struck over 7 billion coins, while the Denver Mint produced more than 5 billion coins, making the 1989 penny very common in circulation. Due to this abundance, most circulated examples have little value beyond their face value. However, collectors often seek uncirculated mint state coins, especially those with bright original red luster, RD, and minimal contact marks. Coins graded MS65 or higher can carry a premium. Additionally, error coins, such as off-center strikes, double dies, clip planchets, and plating errors, can be more valuable depending on their rarity and condition. From a historical standpoint, the 1989 Lincoln penny represents the United States during the late 20th century, a period marked by significant global changes, including the end of the Cold War and rapid technological advancement. Despite these major developments, the Lincoln penny remained a constant feature in everyday American life, symbolizing continuity and tradition. Coins from this era serve as tangible links to history, reflecting both the economic environment and the cultural values of the time. For collectors, the 1989 penny is an essential part of the Lincoln Memorial series, representing the modern zinc-based composition era. In conclusion, the 1989 United States 1-cent Lincoln penny is a common yet historically rich coin that embodies American values, heritage, and continuity. Its timeless design featuring Abraham Lincoln and the Lincoln Memorial, along with inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "E Pluribus Unum," continues to resonate with collectors and the general public alike. While it may not be rare in circulated condition, it remains an important piece of U.S. numismatic history, representing both everyday commerce and a lasting national identity. The United States 1-cent coin Lincoln penny, 1994. D is a modern-era issue of one of the longest-running and most recognizable coin series in the world. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, the Lincoln cent has remained a daily use coin while also becoming a major focus for collectors and historians. By 1994, the design had already been in continuous use for decades, symbolizing stability, tradition, and American identity. The inscription seen on the coin, "In God We Trust, Liberty, United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent, carry deep national meaning, representing faith, freedom, unity, and economic structure. The D mint mark on this coin indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the primary U.S. coin-producing facilities, known for its high-volume production and consistent quality. On the obverse front of the 1994 D Lincoln penny, the central feature is a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait has been used since the coin's introduction in 1909 and was historically significant as the first depiction of a real person on a circulating U.S. coin. Above Lincoln's head appears the inscription, "In God We Trust," which serves as the official national motto of the United States and reflects a long-standing cultural emphasis on faith and unity. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word liberty, symbolizing one of the most important principles of the nation, freedom. On the right side of the coin is the year 1994, along with a small D mint mark just below it, indicating its production at the Denver Mint. The obverse design is simple, balanced, and iconic, maintaining its historical appearance while continuing to serve modern circulation needs. The reverse back of the 1994 D penny features the familiar Lincoln Memorial design, which was introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial in Washington, D.C., a symbol of honor and remembrance for the 16th President of the United States. One remarkable detail of this design is that a small depiction of Lincoln's statue can be seen seated inside the memorial when viewed closely, making this coin unique for featuring the same person on both sides. The inscriptions on the reverse include United States of America along the top, the Latin phrase "E Pluribus Unum" just above the memorial, meaning out of many one, and the denomination 1 cent boldly inscribed at the bottom. This reverse design remained in use until 2008, making it one of the longest-lasting coin designs in U.S. history. In terms of composition, the 1994 D. Lincoln penny is made primarily of 97.5% zinc with a thin outer layer of 2.5% copper plating. This composition was adopted in 1982 due to rising copper prices, replacing the earlier bronze alloy. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, which are standard for modern U.S. cents. The edge of the coin is plain, without reading. While the coin appears copper-colored, its zinc core can sometimes become visible if the coin is damaged, scratched, or exposed to corrosion, leading to bubbling or peeling of the outer copper layer, an issue occasionally seen in circulated examples from this era. The mintage of the 1994 D penny was very high, with over 7 billion coins produced, reflecting its essential role in everyday transactions across the United States. Because of this large mintage, the coin is extremely common in circulated condition and usually holds little value beyond its face value. However, collectors are particularly interested in uncirculated mint state. Examples, especially those graded MS65 or higher with strong luster and minimal marks. Coins with full original red color RD are more desirable than those that have toned to red-brown RB or brown BN. In addition, certain error coins, such as double dies, off-center strikes, clip planchets, or plating errors, can be significantly more valuable depending on their rarity and condition. From a historical perspective, the 1994 D. Lincoln penny represents the United States during a period of economic growth and technological advancement in the 1990s. This era saw the rise of the internet, globalization, and changes in everyday life, yet the Lincoln penny remained a constant part of daily commerce. Coins like this serve as small but meaningful artifacts, connecting people to a specific time in history while continuing a long-standing tradition of U.S. coinage. For collectors, the 1994 D. penny is an important part completing a Lincoln Memorial Cent set, representing the modern zinc-based composition era of the series. In conclusion, the 1994 D. United States 1 cent Lincoln penny is a common yet historically meaningful coin that combines tradition, symbolism, and practicality. Its enduring design, featuring Abraham Lincoln in the Lincoln Memorial, along with powerful inscriptions like "In God We Trust" and "E Pluribus Unum," reflects the core values of the United States. While widely available and often overlooked in everyday use, it remains an essential piece for collectors and a lasting symbol of American heritage, unity, and identity. The United States 1 cent coin Lincoln penny 2001 is part of one of the longest-running and most recognized coin series in the world. First introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the Lincoln cent has become a powerful symbol of American identity, history, and everyday life. By the year 2001, this coin had already been in circulation for over 9 decades and continued to play a vital role in daily transactions across the United States. The inscriptions commonly found on this coin, "In God We Trust, Liberty," "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and 1 cent, reflect the nation's values, unity, and economic structure. The 2001 penny was minted at multiple facilities, including Philadelphia, no mint mark, and Denver with a D mint mark, and both versions are widely collected by numismatists around the world. On the obverse front of the 2001 Lincoln penny, you will find the familiar right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait has been used since 1909 and was revolutionary at the time because it marked the first appearance of a real historical figure on a circulating U.S. coin. Above Lincoln's head is the inscription, "In God We Trust," a national motto that emphasizes faith and has appeared on U.S. coins since the Civil War era. To the left of Lincoln's profile is the word liberty, symbolizing freedom and democracy, core principles of the United States. On the right side, the year 2001 is clearly inscribed, and if the coin was minted in Denver, a small D mint mark appears just below the date. Coins from Philadelphia typically do not carry a mint mark, which helps collectors easily distinguish between the two major varieties. The reverse back of the 2001 penny features the iconic Lincoln Memorial design, introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Frank Gasparo, this reverse showcases the Lincoln Memorial Building in Washington, D.C., one of the most important monuments in the United States. If examined closely, a tiny figure of Abraham Lincoln seated inside the memorial can be seen, making this coin unique in that it depicts the same person on both the obverse and reverse sides. The inscriptions on the reverse include United States of America along the top edge, the Latin motto E pluribus unum, just above the memorial, meaning out of many one, and the denomination 1 cent boldly displayed at the bottom. This design remained in use until 2008, after which it was replaced with special bicentennial designs in 2009. In terms of composition, the 2001 Lincoln penny is made primarily of 97.5% zinc with thin copper plating of 2.5%, giving the traditional copper appearance while reducing production costs. This composition was introduced in 1982 when rising copper prices made the older bronze alloy too expensive for mass production. The coin weighs approximately 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, which are standard measurements for modern U.S. pennies. The edge of the coin is smooth plain, without any reading. Despite its copper color, the inner zinc core can sometimes become visible if the coin is damaged, corroded, or heavily worn, leading to bubbling or peeling effects that are occasionally seen in circulated examples. The mintage of the 2001 penny was extremely high, reflecting its continued importance in everyday commerce. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 4.9 billion coins, while the Denver Mint struck more than 3.2 billion coins, making the 2001 penny very common in circulation. Because of this large mintage, most examples found in circulated condition have little to no premium above face value. However, collectors seek out coins in uncirculated mint state condition, especially those with full original red luster, as well as coins graded MS65 or higher. Special varieties such as error coins, including off-center strikes, double dies, clip planchets, or plating issues, can carry significant value depending on their rarity and condition. From a historical and cultural perspective, the 2001 Lincoln penny represents the United States at the beginning of the 21st century, a time marked by technological advancement, economic growth, and significant global events. Coins from this era serve as everyday artifacts that connect people to a specific moment in time. Even though pennies are often overlooked due to their low face value, they remain deeply symbolic, carrying national mottos and imagery that reflect the country's identity and heritage. For many collectors, the 2001 penny is an essential part of completing a full Lincoln Memorial Cent collection, representing the modern phase of this historic coin series. In conclusion, the 2001 United States 1 cent Lincoln penny is more than just a small denomination coin. It is a piece of living history, with its classic Lincoln portrait, meaningful inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," and "E pluribus unum," and its enduring Lincoln Memorial reverse design. This coin continues to capture the essence of American values and unity. While common in circulation, it holds lasting importance for collectors and historians alike, symbolizing over a century of tradition and the everyday economic life of the United States.